Get in there, Villa fans. Absolutely massive 3 points for Aston Villa at a very, very, very difficult place to go to. Was it pretty? No. Who cares? It's all about just getting the 3 points, getting over the line, moving on, and focusing on the next game. This is an absolute massive victory for Aston Villa. It means so much, basically coming off the back of Champions League, not being able to get the victory in those games, and to go there and perform and do enough to win is very, very pleasing. And the perfect aspect for me, clean sheet, guys. Clean sheet. So Villa fans, if you are new to the channel, make sure you are subscribing. Get on the journey with us. Smash the likes if you are buzzing like I am. Comment your thoughts. But I just thought I'd just basically just Googled the Sassy, and what came up was something that I kind of expected to happen. So if you all Google Axel Disasi, you are going to find this picture, because he was an absolute brick wall for Aston Villa. He was aggressive, powerful, strong. He showed leadership to just take the game defensively by the scruff of the neck and put his body on the line. You could see what it means to him, celebrating every single challenge that he made. And Disasi was absolutely phenomenal. And we've got to talk about the clean sheet. And we've got to talk about Robin Olsen, because he deserves massive, massive amounts of praise, because he's kept a clean sheet. We have kept a clean sheet. Can you believe it? Olsen was brilliant. He was actually good against Palace. His distribution against Palace was good. Against Palace, he made 17 out of 17 passes. Now, for Olsen, that was very good. And I did a tweet before the game when Olsen, and I saw the team sheet. And I basically said, there's 10 players that have to defend well in front of Olsen. You know, he concedes a lot of goals, fair enough. But the defending for a lot of those is not great, guys. You know, you defend from the front, you defend from Watkins. And today we showed that we pressed well from the front. We defended well. We threw our bodies on the line. We wanted it, and we got the clean sheet. And I always say this, play, and we didn't play bad. We didn't play that bad. But play shit and win. It is so important in football to sometimes just dig in and win. The top teams dig in and win. And it was epitomised by Liverpool in the Champions League. Good teams find a way to win. I saw parts of Liverpool today, and they weren't even great, but they found a way. They find ways to win. And that's what we did. And we had to dig in. We had to show that mentality to fight to the end, to want it. You know, it can get so overlooked, of mental resilience and being able to want to win the game and defend. And that's probably like the biggest aspect for me from it. You know, just the resilience to be able to make sure we defending well. And it's so pleasing. And I mean, we've gone up to, if we have a look at the league table now, we've gone up to 7th in the league, and we are 2 points behind Man City. We've played a game more. So we've done, what I will say is that up until this point now, this victory is absolutely massive, because we don't play next week, when I think a lot of teams do play. We had that Liverpool game, etc. and we have played a game more, but we've put ourselves like back amongst it now. And hopefully, once we get through Bruges and we have this little 2-week period and we tackle Preston and we go again in the league, this has got to be the point now where we really get those victories. And it's the perfect point to get momentum. Yeah, end the season with momentum. So he made not a lot of changes for this, which I was quite surprised by, because we hear about the energy levels and the after Champions League, and we kept the same back four, we kept the same double pivot. Rodgers, Watkins played. And I think first half, I was quite pleased with it, even though not a lot happened, because I just felt like we got in at 0-0. We've got our finishers on the bench, like Rashford, like Marlon. Kamara can come on. And we'd got our foothold in the game. And I always felt like we had firepower to come off the bench. And I don't think in the first half we had too many chances, did we? Not a lot really happened. But second half, I kind of wrote on my notes. That we had to be brave and show intent, and somebody had to take the game by the scruff of the neck. That's what it was crying out for. There was a lot of okay openings in the first half, but there was just that little bit of lack of final pass, that somebody just showing that little bit more. And that's what Ollie Watkins did. Because when he got that ball, I shouted, just go for it. And he took that shot on. He showed the intent. And it was just so good that we got that goal. And then we were purring, weren't we? Ramsey driving forward, passed it to Watkins to Rodgers. We scored and we were offside by like that much, like literally that much. And I'm thinking, God, we're purring now. And then from that moment, the game changed. Brentford had that grit as if that was their wake up. And I felt like we were quite disconnected with our strikers midfield to our defence. I thought the defence and keeper was brilliant, but they started finding those areas of Mbuemo on the ball and that little pocket of finding him quickly. And it was a massive problem. And we did have to probably ride our luck at times, but that's football. You have to do that. But I've just got to give another massive shout out to a player, Luca Dean, for his defending against Mbuemo was first class. He was so aggressive to him. And he defends well against these low centre of gravity players. He always plays well against Salah. He played well against Mbuemo. He's brave because he's aggressive, and that was brilliant. I thought the Sassy as well, opposite side, brilliant. I thought the two in the middle had everything away. Tielemans in the first half was incredible. He was driving us forward. He had those opportunities. You know, he was the one that sort of picked it up at the edge of the box, drove into the box, and you know, he was at the bright spark. McGinn was solid enough. But again, I just felt like our attack at times was probably our weakest point, because it was a lot of nearly flicks, movements, moments, but it just wasn't quite coming together. And that's why I really wanted to see Marlon Rashford on the pitch. But we didn't really see much of Rashford, did we? Because we just couldn't contain the ball in the second half. But you know, defending wise, I thought we were brilliant. Watkins, when he was clean through, why didn't he just smack it? Like that is his best attribute. Watkins is his striking of the ball. You know, he hits it pretty clean. He gets it on target generally in those positions, like he did for the goal. He's tried to dink it, but I don't think that was ever on. It needed him to take, when he got into that 18, take your touch across the keeper. But we got over the line in the end. So that was the most pleasing aspect of it. Again, we toiled with this hybrid three at the back, which I like. Regular viewers will always know that I've always kind of liked the three centre halves because it kind of just gives you that bit of structure in there, and I felt like that's what we had. We need more from Bailey. We need more from Bailey in that position. We need more from Rodgers at times. We need more from Watkins holding the ball up. That we do so well at times to get into good areas. I thought Ramsey he had a really good game. I thought Ramsey, especially for that goal that was disallowed, was good. I thought he did a really good tactical job. I thought he played well. I thought his touches were good. I thought he was a force going forward as well. It's hard to be too critical at times of say Rodgers because he's playing every game. But there are periods where he's got to find that pass. The quality's got to be there because we get into the good areas and we really need him to just make it count and punish teams. But it's just not quite happening. He's strapped up a lot. And hopefully, if he gets called up for England, fine. But if not, then I'd pull him out for that strapping on his leg anyway. So I think that's probably what it is with Rodgers, but that's something that I've noticed in the last couple of games. I think Watkins' hold-up play wasn't the greatest, was it? I think Pinnock and Collins were really good, sort of getting in front of him and sort of just muscling him up a little bit and bouncing off him a little bit. But I think the big picture. I put Martinez in goal, actually. Anyone's spotted that Martinez is in goal there. I think, no, do you know what I've got to do? Sorry, guys. I've got to just make this change because he massively deserves it here. So, sorry, Olsen. It was, I've just bypassed you there for a moment, but it was Olsen in goal and he deserves his moment there because, yeah, I think, he massively deserves that because he did play really well, coming out for things. His kicking was good. So, Olsen deserves it. I thought fair play to him. Absolutely fair play to him. You know what I'm going to do, guys? For that bad little error that I did, I've highlighted him now. I've highlighted Olsen. He's got a little highlight around him now. So, just so he's got that sort of moment in lights, like Olsen, clean sheet. God, it sounds weird when you say it, doesn't it? Olsen, clean sheet. Brilliant stuff. Right, so let's have a little look at some of the major talking points of the game. But I think the big thing is as well is, does the performance matter right now? No. It doesn't matter. Does not matter because there's been moments this season against Ipswich where we've played well and not won, and we've played okay today and we've won and kept a clean sheet. That's the bigger picture. That is the bigger picture. Right, so if we have a look at the momentum bar of the game, you'll see that first half, it was very dominant from Villa. Second half, it was quite dominant from Brentford, which was a little bit strange, really, that we got that goal. But did we just say, break us down and we'll defend? Because it was very much like Unai's first season, really. So we've showed that we can defend there. So we had an XG of 1.32. They had a 0.64. We had two big chances, 12 shots. They had 13. Goalkeepers both made 3 saves. They had 6 corners. We had 5. Maybe it was closer than what, maybe it's closer than what we thought here. Passes, 312 for Villa, 449 for Brentford. Let's have a look at some of the duels then. Final third, Villa 65%, 44 long balls, 25% crosses, 75 final third for Brentford, 60% long balls, 19 for crosses for them. So we won 49% of our ground duels, only 39% of our aerials, and 41% successful dribbles. Defending tackles won 45% for Aston Villa. Total tackles 11, interceptions 5, recoveries 46, clearances 40. Errors that led to a shot, we've got Villa with 1 there. If we have a look then at some of the underlying numbers from the game, let's go save average positions for tomorrow. We'll do a debrief tomorrow, so we'll save that for that. Right, so we've got Tielemans 86% passing accuracy, Tyrone Mings 80. Mings won 6 out of his 7 duels, Tielemans 4 out of 7, Konsa 3 out of 5 duels, Luca Dean 5 out of 9, Rogers 3 out of 10, Watkins 2 out of 9. And that's what I'm talking about a little bit. Holding that ball up and just relieving some pressure, knowing that when it goes further forward, we can just have a breather. We've got Cash 3 of 8, Rashford 2 of 3, 80% for Rashford. Where's Disasi? We've got to give that man his flowers as well. 8 of 13. He won 2 of his 3 aerials, 73% accurate passes. The Sassy for me, man of the match. And Olsen. The fact that Olsen got a clean sheet, but they all got the clean sheet. But I think the Sassy was the one for me that just stood out and enabled us to just be there and great. And we had no Martinez, no Asensio, both with slight injuries, but again, do not risk any of them. There are big things on the horizon for Villa: Champions League, FA Cup, still Premier League running. So that is very important for us at the same time. So yeah, just really buzzing. At the start of the week, I was a bit nervous about this game, but I think when we did the match preview and we spoke about the threats of Brentford, I think first half especially, we really limited that. I think second half, you started to see them coming through a little bit more with a little bit more, like throwing more cautious to the wind, weren't they? But yeah, just a great victory for Villa. So let's just have a little quick look at this table then, so we can just see what we got going on then. So, and we really had to sort of capitalise a little bit today because Fulham lost. Palace were right behind us, really. So I think as long as we're now staying in touch with Brighton as well, that's important. Man City lost as well, so it was important that we've closed the gap up to them as well. Still got to play them. So we'll see how some of the games go tomorrow as well. But just really good, really buzzing, really happy. And yeah, just go into the Bruges game now and tackle that one. Good to see Marlon back on the pitch. But, Watkins' goal, very good finish. Getting closer to that Gabby record now, so he's not far behind that. And we've sort of got that elusive away win. We've won after a Champions League game, which is huge as well. So hopefully, that sort of little narrative-ish can stop being that thing, because going into it, we'd got 1 win, 3 draws, and 4 losses. So that's good. And yeah, just buzzing with it really, because we've not been the greatest, have we, in the Premier League? And we're still there. We're still in the mix. We still got a lot to play for. Obviously, Chelsea have got 2 games in hand on us, but we're only at this moment in time 1 point behind them. So their form's not the greatest either. So Villa fans, let me know your thoughts. Smash the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm wearing my lucky my lucky Juan Pablo Angel shirt that sometimes, you know, on a game day and you've got stuff to wear and you're like, do I need to pull something out today that's very, very lucky? So I actually pulled this out today. I've only worn it twice. I've only ever worn it twice. And it's a Juan Pablo Angel shirt. So means a lot to me. Means a lot to me, guys. But basically, I've only worn it twice. I've worn it twice now. First time was the last home game of last season when we were going into Liverpool and we needed something. So I wore it then and I've worn it today. Now I'm only going to wear it when I feel like I need to bring this out a little bit and just add a bit of look to something. So I won't wear it every week, but this one I'll bring it out when I need to. So it's done me proud today, guys. It's done me proud. Right. So we'll have the debrief that will be coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. We'll number crunch a bit more. We'll have a look at some of the stuff that I think is very important from this game. And then we'll turn our attention to Bruges. So cheers, everyone. Support the channel. Up the Villa.